All right, guys, open your eyes.
SODO!
What is up, SODO population? As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and today, we have a pretty awesome blog. Last week, they said, hey, we've got some SODO Chronicle information for you, and we have got that. We also have some Geats information in the back half of this, which is pretty fun, but we do start off our coverage today with Kamen Rider Faiz. Yeah, so we are getting Faiz Blaster, and he is part of the second wave. This is the second SODO Chronicle Faiz wave, and it's a pretty stacked wave. There's a lot more to this wave than what we had in the first one. So first up, like I said, Faiz Blaster, and he is sporting his blaster in its folded up mode, like the suitcase mode. The eyes on his visor, those are all like, you know, it's got the compound eye effect that they're always talking about. That looks very good. They said, yeah, for the most part, the body, like the base body, that is the same as the original Faiz, but they did change up the molding on the arms and the legs, or I guess rather the shin, to really make this into Faiz Blaster. So this, oh, and the chest and shoulders, as always. So this is new mold, ish. And then, oops, here we have Faiz Blaster wielding the sword version of the weapon. This does not transform into this. It is just a separate piece that they're giving you, which is completely fine. Something I did want to highlight here is that we do continue to have the little painted digits on the hands. That's very nice. All in all, very good look. And then also the blaster version of the weapon. We also get to see that you can deploy the shoulder cannons, which is really, really cool. Absolutely love this figure so far. Next up, we have no, not Kaiser. This is Delta. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. This is Kamen Rider Delta. It's looking very good, and it's got tons of accessories, let me tell you. Check this out. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different versions of the gun weapon. So you can see them all on screen. Notably, we have the Delta Phone plus the Delta Mover as a waist piece and just as a handheld weapon, so you don't have to just have him holding it with that sort of peg sticking out. That's very nice, and the proportions are a little different between the two. You've got Faiz pointer, or you've got the pointer mode attachments. You've got the cover being opened or closed on the Delta Mover. It's just tons and tons of different possibilities, and I think they've covered all their bases here. So this looks very good. Hopefully I've talked over this enough for you to like absorb this information, but yeah, it is all here. Anyways, next up, here is Delta holding the weapon. Now, technically there have been around 10 users-ish, give or take, for this suit, so it could be whoever you want, and there's plenty of articulation, plenty of accessories to sort of flesh that out. Sadly, though, the accessories that we are missing are the effect pieces. Now, they did say that there is a lot going into this second wave, so they weren't able to include all the effect pieces. Like Faiz and Kaiser, both of them had like their Faiz symbol and all that stuff for the, you know, post-explosion sort of situation. They even had like kick effects and stuff, but sadly this figure does not have any of those, but they would like to make them, so stay tuned for that. All they said was stay tuned. Maybe they'll be able to make it. I hope so, because it'd be really sucky if this figure did not get the same treatment as the other two. Anyways, this looks pretty good, but not as good as an army builder. You know me. I love a good army builder, and we're getting the Ryo Trooper. It's so awesome to see this again. Of course, we did get this figure in Shodo, but now here we have it again in SODO, and I can't be mad at an army builder figure. I just can't. This looks absolutely fantastic. buy as many as you want. There's a holster on the side that's actually attached via a PVC plastic piece. That little red strap there holding in the holster, that's actually pliable, so that means you can get it into all sorts of poses. Also, that holster is usable, so you can take out the main weapon, and that main weapon does not transform. So in the Shodo version, it was able to hinge down into the gun version of it, but in this release, it is just a separate piece, which is fine. That's fine. I mean, you get two extra pieces, or you get an extra piece. You're gonna be okay. And I think this is probably a little bit more accurate to that, since that hinge is based off of a very large peg, and this, I think, you know, mechanically looks better. I'm not sure, but I like it. Anyways, buy tons of these. Another thing that you should probably buy, this guy. That's right. It is, oh no, did I immediately forget this guy's name? I do know for sure that this is a movie rider, and it's always awesome to see movie exclusive riders get representation here. This is Saiga. Definitely didn't forget that and look it up just now. He looks great. He speaks English. It's a good time. He does have his backpack, which I do believe is called the Flying Attacker, and it looks good. You can have him holding it and like shooting the guns and stuff. We get to see a little bit more of the sticker detail here. It's on a lot of these flat surfaces. I really do hope those are like molded in at least a little bit, but as it stands, a lot of sticker surfaces. Not really a fan of the ones on the tips of the guns, but you know, it's fine. Ooh, I'll live. Looks very good. Also, if you load the mission memory, not physically, obviously, just, you know, you can pretend, you can have him wielding the Tonfa edges. So that looks good. I'm a sucker for Tonfas. They're one of my favorite weapons, so this is cool for me. I like it. Anyways, the final figure in this set, Orga. He's looking very great. He is a hefty boy. The waist cape itself is uniquely molded just to him. And it is big, but not, you know, cumbersome. It does get out of the way for posing. It also has a holster attached to the side, and it has the, I guess what is it called? I don't know what it's called, but it has the hilt of the weapon just sort of hanging out there, or you can have him holding the main weapon. Once again, separate piece. You can have him holding the main weapon. Looks fantastic. So yeah, that is it. This is basically everything we're getting in that set. They did make mention that this is not separated in the same way as riders typically are-ish, give or take, because if you look at Faiz, he's done typically with the body and the armor in separate sets, but then you get to the rest of them and it's like you got this chest stump and this leg and these legs, but then you've got the arms and the head off to the side in another box. So that's basically how a lot of these are going to be shaking out. Not sure why they had to note that, because like you're going to have to get both of them anyway, but I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. This looks fantastic, and we've got some glamour images. Yes, you can now line up all three of them together. You could do this with Shodo, but what you could not do, well, you could do this as well. What you could not do is have them face off against the movie riders, because they did not make these in Shodo. This looks absolutely gorgeous. I always love when they do this. I will say I do kind of want to see Saiga's Tonfa edges get redone in either the clear plastic or do the shimmery painted on look. Either way, very nice. And also Faiz Blaster with Orga. Fantastic. But these guys are scheduled to come out in February, so I guess mark your calendars, make your pre-orders. I do believe pre-orders are happening on the 20th in Japan, so that should be right around the time that we get them, if not already. Definitely check out HLJ, definitely check Toku Collectibles, or any other of your preferred middleman services. Anyways, that is it for these guys. We are going to get more SODO Chronicle next week, so get excited for that. But until then, here is Buffa. Buffa Zombie, in fact. Or zombie form, Buffa zombie form. Yeah, that's right. I said it right. Don't at me. He looks very good, and he's incredibly well painted. Like, look at all of this. All of the purple on the chin and on the chest. Very well done. They even noted all the purple, like all the different purples and all the oranges on the arms as well. They, like, G-Man even noted that, hey, maybe we painted this a bit more than Geats. So that tells you so much about the quality of paint that they were able to put into this guy. Looks fantastic. Something that they did want to apologize to us for was this. Yes, it turns out since the arm, or at least the forearm on Buffa is thicker, so it's not going to bend as far as the right arm. That sucks. Or does it? That's right, you can actually do that. What they did was they created a separate part. It added to the parts cost. It added to the manufacturing cost and all that stuff. But what it allows you to do is like slightly push it out on that peg and bring it up further with the rest of the arms, so it is consistent with the rest of your figures. I think that's fun. Definitely a very valuable inclusion. They didn't have to do it, and they did it anyway because they wanted to give us the best possible product. Absolutely appreciate that. Anyways, here's a look at the belt. It is a larger belt, at least like vertically, which is not something that they, I guess, typically do. I guess, like, they're not typically vertically tall. Also on the back, we can see that the purple paint actually extends all the way back there. It looks really fancy, really good. I appreciate that they did all that, which then again, a lot of these figures in this wave are repeats. Like, we're getting the legs a lot. We're getting the same chests a lot. So, I mean, they say it's like premium, but I'm pretty sure they were able to budget it in such a way that, like, oh, we're reusing this mold so much that we can funnel more budget into the places we do need it. And I think that's perfect. I think that's such a good way to manage your budget. Anyways, next up we have the sword. Now, this does not actually get included with this figure. This is actually included with his entry form, which it is within the same wave, so if you bought the full box, you will be able to get this. But it is just, you know, in a separate box. It won't be part of his, but you can just give it to him, you know, after you've opened all of them. Looks good, and it looks good from the back. This is the practice that they've started to implement a lot, where they, you know, put a sticker on the back side. You know, normally one side's left undone, but now they've seen the reception of this. They know that people value having detail on all sides, so this is the result of that. Anyways, he looks absolutely amazing. You can pose him however you'd like. Tons of different possibilities, especially with the sword. I guess you could do multiple different attacks with this guy. And if you get Geats involved, you can actually make the zombie version of Geats. I assume the eyes will be included somewhere. They don't always let us know where these eyes are included, but I'm sure you'll find them. Also, you can have Buffa with the engine paints, so that's very fun. And it looks pretty good, so I imagine it would be an easy swap. However, you won't be getting the buckle to get the correct, like, zombie boost formation, so that kind of sucks, but it's fine. Anyways, this is it. This is just about everything we're getting in SODO Geats ID2. Like I said, a lot of the same mold here. We have the chest at least 4 times. We've got the legs at least 4 times. Oh yeah, exactly 4 times on the legs. The only upper body difference I see is like Nago's cuffs, the Nago Bengals. that's really all I see that's different molding-wise. Of course, Buffa does have that waist cape, but that is removable. So that's not like uniquely molded into him. That's just a separate part. So we're getting the base body 4 times, basically. And hey, we get the legs a second time, or like a 5th time too, with Buffa. So they really managed to, I guess, extend this line out using the same piece. I think that's so smart on their end. Anyway, this is all we have so far of ID2. Next week we will be getting more, just like we'll be getting more SODO Chronicle information. But to end off this episode, I did want to mention, hey, this poll, they did make a bit of a fix, a bit of a change to it. Apparently, as it stood earlier, you were only able to vote on one of these per day. So if you wanted to vote on the homework poll, which deals with all the stuff that SODO hasn't gotten to yet, you could vote on that, but that means your one vote couldn't go to anything on the resale poll. So if you wanted a re-release of a figure, you couldn't vote on that. So you had to split your vote between each one. Now, each day you get 1 vote each for these. So you don't have to split it between the 2. So that's very helpful. I gotta be honest, I wasn't really voting on a resale vote, because I personally have a whole lot of SODO and I don't really need duplicates. So it's very valuable for those of you who have gotten in late. This is definitely a poll option that is available to you now. Definitely keep voting. Definitely go onto Bandai's site, Bandai's Candy Toys site. You'll find it. It's fine. This is spectacular, just in general. Anyways, oh, that's not the right button. That is it for our coverage of the Rider stuff. But do note that there is some Sentai stuff that happened this week that I was not able to get to in this video. We will talk about that tomorrow. But if you need your fill of Sentai news now, here's last week's information that came with so much cool stuff. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. The video is right here if you want to check it out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep it